Support comes from Big Y, world-class market celebrating 80 years of service to New England families. Big Y's commitment includes support of WNPR and the Faith Middleton Food Schmooze. If you like to eat, drink, and be merry, you're in the right place. Faith here with a welcome toast. It was Groucho Marx who said, I did toy with the idea of doing a cookbook. The recipes were to be the routine ones, how to make dry toast, instant coffee, hearts of lettuce, and brownies. But as an added attraction at no extra charge, my idea was to put a fried egg on the cover. I think a lot of people who hate literature but love fried eggs would buy it if the price was right. Please feel free to consume this show podcast in 1 bite, 2 bites, or oops, I ate the whole thing. It's great to have you joining the party on the Faith Middleton Food Schmooze, the place to have a good time. We have amazing things coming your way. Of course, we're going to tell you about the martini competition. We have a fantastic wine for you. For the summer, I am leading a food and wine trip to Italy. We'll tell you about that. And one of the best burgers I have ever had from this cookbook, Minimalist Baker's Everyday Cooking, and it is a Thai peanut burger. It is sensational. Am I right about that?
Oh,
yeah.
Delicious.
Really, honestly. My treasured food buddies are here. Senior contributors Chris Prosperi, Alex Province, Mark Raymond, and our bartender, chief cocktail contributor Anthony DeSerio, plus our special guest, Dana Schultz. Her cookbook, Everyday Cooking, we'll get to that. Chris Prosperi, in particular, this is for you. This is from the Food Network magazine. I just learned about this. I do too. And they advertised something, and I looked at it and I said, I want these, and I know Chris Prosperi is going to want these. Let me hold up the picture.
Right,
I wish I could do it for you right now here on our listening experience. These are taco sneakers.
Oh my God, I want
so
those.
cool.
These
so sharp.
These are sneakers. They are sharp. They call them the Taco Kick. These are from Vans, to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. But these are sneakers that are covered with tacos.
I'm getting those.
Taco shells that are stuffed with
You are
various things,
definitely
guacamole and ground beef. And you can see it right. I mean, the picture of them is fantastic. And they're all over the shoes.
Oh, I'm
And
totally getting those.
So you go to
Pass that
Vans.
Don't you
You go to
naturally have a
Van-
pair of shoes covered in tacos? Anyway?
Vans online. The best.
Splatter marks of salsa.
Maybe a
Nat
little
au
guac.
natural.
Oh, just
That's a
so
great
good.
Guacamole on the toe.
Isn't that good? I know. And while I was in there, I was looking at that page, again, Food Network magazine, they recommended something that we have talked about here on the show with taco shells. The hard taco shell that you buy in the supermarket.
Yeah.
We advised you on previous shows to take those and dip them into melted chocolate and then to stuff them with ice cream.
Yes.
And you've got this very cool kind of Mexican ice cream sandwich.
I like that.
Yeah. So
I'm doing that tonight.
food, are
doing
you?
that now.
Yeah, I
You're
love
going to
that
be a hit
salted
with your
chocolate.
kids.
Oh, they're gonna love
I
that.
know they are. So here's the thing that Food Network said to do, and I don't know why I didn't think of this. Just take your tortilla chips
Yeah.
and dip them in melted chocolate and then put them out that way.
I thought you said put them straight into your mouth.
So
Dip
let's-
them in
With
chocolate.
a little sea salt on it.
You could do it on the pointy side or the flat side or any way you want. And they put a little sprinkled sugar on there. It's not salt, but you could do salt and sugar because we love that salty sweet thing.
Oh, I've got an idea.
It's, what we like is the crispy texture of these next to a bowl of ice cream. So anything you have that's soft and cool,
So why
can
couldn't
you
you
imagine?
substitute salsa for a bowl of chocolate? So you have
Or what
for
if you did
dessert,
that
you come out
chocolate-
with salsa, a basket of
Or what if you
tortillas
did
and
that
melted
tortilla
chocolate.
bowl, the tortilla
Yeah,
syrup
that's
bowl?
great. That's a great idea.
Or you could
How's
do,
that different
how about
from a
salsa,
donut?
How about a salsa made with strawberries, a sweet salsa?
Yeah.
Right?
That
Dip
mango,
these in
pineapple.
chocolate. Yeah. Mango, strawberries, and make a fruit
Oh,
salsa.
fun.
A
And
little
then all of a
tequila
sudden
on
you've
the
got
top.
like a
Fun.
fun dipping thing.
Yeah.
And then a bowl of
A
ice cream on the
dessert
side.
dipping. I think we're leaving out one really cool ingredient, which is so Spanish: dulce de leche.
Yeah.
I mean, come
There you go,
on.
yeah.
Dulce de leche.
How do you not have dulce de leche?
All right, you got to explain what
Wait a
that
minute.
is for us.
It's
yeah.
caramel. It is
But
condensed
it
milk
is-
turned
it
into
is-
caramel.
Yeah.
It's the best I don't know what they do in Spain to make this thing, or in the Latin countries to make this dulce de leche, but it's more buttery to me than the caramel that we make at home.
Right,
And why is that? Is that
It's
true?
condensed milk.
It's made with
the
condensed
closest
milk.
thing I've ever come to it is what you taught me.
You mean with the evaporated milk?
You take the
Yeah.
you put the sweetened condensed milk in a water bath,
A double boiler, yeah.
double
Double
boiler.
and you cook it
You cover it with
yeah,
water.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
you
you cook it,
it.
and that caramelizes
Yeah.
in the can.
Yeah.
and that's the closest I've gotten to making it myself.
Although, disclaimer, it does say on the can not to boil the can. But
Yes.
But
take the
that's what
wrapper off.
For people like you.
So,
like
so
me.
even though I did talk about it
Yeah.
on the show, I don't want to take credit for that
No, no.
because it's actually an old Eagle Scouting trick.
Is it
And
really?
my
Wow.
brother-in-law's an Eagle Scout, and he told me about this, and we did it, and it was unbelievable.
What would they do?
was
Put it on ice cream
unbelievable.
then, right?
They would
At
go
the Eagle Scouts?
camping,
Yeah.
and
It
I
couldn't
think
be
they
ice cream.
probably just either dipped
Ate it out of the
bread in it or ate
Yeah.
it out of the can.
Put it
I
on
don't
your
know.
toast in the morning.
No,
Oh
So
my
we need
God.
to make a nacho plate out of desserts, and then the dulce de leche would be on
That's-
top, and the
oh,
ice
that-
cream would be the sour cream.
That's a
There we go.
great
Low
idea.
calorie too.
What if that's you could build a whole party around what we're talking
yeah,
about?
you're
right
right.
now.
absolutely.
I've even
Okay.
reduced that down with a little bit of water and used it instead of a simple syrup for like a tequila-based cocktail,
Oh,
or
yeah.
even like a rum-based cocktail, like
No.
an aged rum where you get that vanilla rum.
Wait a minute, you're talking about putting. Some people will buy
Right.
a jar of dulce de leche.
Yeah.
How would you turn that into, or use that in a
Well,
cocktail?
that would be basically the same thing as doing like a jar of honey. So you just cut it with some hot water.
So let's describe making a cocktail out of it. What would you put together?
I'm just thinking rum right away because of the vanilla flavors.
Is this
or
in a
an aged
glass or a
tequila.
shaker? Shaker?
In a shaker.
Okay, so in goes a little bit of rum.
Let's do a little bit of aged rum. We'll do a little bit of the dulce syrup, and then maybe some pineapple, and
Okay,
just make
and-
a quick sour out of that.
And the dulce de leche, do you want water mixed with it too, so that it
Yeah, you want to
becomes
thin
less
it out
thick?
a little bit. So maybe just like when we always talk our simple syrups, maybe if you do like half a cup.
Would
to
the
a quarter
shaking
cup.
ice do that by no?
yeah.
You
Not so much. It's still going to be a little thick, and it'll all coat the inside of your glass.
so
and
you
it won't
want a
come out.
little water in there
Yeah,
first.
Yeah, you want to add a little
rum
water to it.
and did you add something else?
Pineapple juice.
Oh my! Wow.
Would you rim the glass with
That's
cinnamon
a
and sugar?
dulce de
Sure.
leche colada.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You just made a
Exactly.
colada.
There you go.
Exactly. Put a little
ready
heavy
for
cream in
summer.
there, and there you go.
Oh
Or even
my
some coconut
goodness.
milk.
Yeah.
I like coconut
Yeah.
milk.
Do you think that pina colada is a little too heavy on the coconut cream? I
I
do.
like using a natural coconut cream. When you buy the store-bought
Like
types,
coconut milk.
I try
It's
and
too
stay away
sweet,
from
right?
those.
Where do you
'cause
get that natural coconut cream?
You just buy coconut milk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Coconut milk and sweeten it
And you
yourself
get
with a
that
little
in
heavy cream and
supermarket
simple
now.
syrup.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of that sweetness right away.
Oh, that's great. Because I just ask for extra pineapple juice and it solves everything. Oh, that sounds
Summer
wonderful.
cocktails.
Oh, yeah,
Here we
we're
go.
getting there. Here we
yeah,
go.
It's
here
close,
we
right?
go.
It's
yeah.
around the
Oh,
corner.
oh, you said the word. You said
There
the
it
word.
is.
Here we go.
Segue.
Tickets to the hottest party of the year, the Food Schmooze Martini Competition, June 23rd. And let me tell you that it is, what did we say, 48
48 days.
48
I wrote
days
it down.
away.
Get your shakers ready.
Get your tickets now.
And there are tickets available right now at ctmartini.org. My guys here on the show said to me that they have all been in various places doing events, doing this, that, and the other thing, and that people are talking about this.
Yes,
Oh
the
my
buzz
goodness!
is incredible.
Everywhere.
And I
Everywhere
get
go.
so excited to hear that because it is the most fun party of the year. Honestly, you will have the best time ever. So we are trying to break the last year's record.
No
It's
problem.
No, we're
a
doing it.
benefit for
We're doing it.
WNPR. And so we want to break 1,000. I think we got to almost 800 last year, and
Yeah.
we said, we can do 1,000. The dancing is unbelievable. You seriously, if you walked in there by yourself, you would not have any problem dancing because if a body is on the dance floor, other bodies are
yeah.
dancing with
Yeah,
you.
it's-
Oh, yeah.
They
it's a
are
party.
just,
It's
everyone
infectious.
is just, they
It's just
turn,
bodies in motion everywhere.
They turn to you and they say, no one cares how
The
anyone
DJ
dances.
too is
The
amazing.
DJ is
The
fantastic.
DJ is great. Yeah, dance like no one's watching. It's
No.
infectious.
Okay. So you vote for, when you're there, we have these tablets and you vote for the Food Schmooze and Connecticut Martini Champion. We have these just wall-to-wall innovative martini stations. And food, of course, included in the entry fee, plus discounts for a certain number of hotel rooms and designated drivers. We want safety first, so we've got a lot of designated drivers. We know that hotels all over the region where we have this sellout. And this year, our martini competition, we're excited, is being held at the gorgeous Mashantucket Pequot Museum.
Awesome.
Wait
Location.
until you
Great
see
spot.
this
Great
place. This is so spectacular. It's right next to Foxwoods. It's in technically Mashantucket.
Right.
So, numbers of people I gather are staying at Foxwoods. Other people are going to hotels. People are chipping in for limos.
Oh, fun.
Companies are doing this thing they've been doing with our Food Schmooze events, which
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
adore
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
it helps them and it helps us. And they are buying blocks of tickets and then saying thank you to numbers of employees for a job well done.
And
So
customers too. I've
Oh,
known
yeah.
companies that buy it for their customers,
Like as a thank
as
you.
a thank you
Yeah,
gift.
that's
That's a
great.
great
Really?
idea. Yeah, it's a great idea.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Oh, that is wonderful. Okay, so for tickets, go to ctmartini.org. And if you forget, you know you can go to our site, Food Schmooze, SCH like school, foodschmooze.org, either one. And you can get your tickets there. We have them in all kinds of levels and all this kind of stuff. So very, very exciting. Can't wait for that. Hey, what produce are we talking about? So I was running down the list. There are so many things out now. We know, of course, that asparagus is out. We know that people have
Time,
already
right.
planted their peas, you know, very diligent people. But things are out, fennel and garlic and kale and kohlrabi and lavender and leeks and lemon verbena is up.
I love
And-
lemon verbena.
Oh, yeah.
Love
you?
it.
What do you do with it?
I use it in tea. I'll also use it in seasoning my fish.
How about chicken, Mark? Have you ever done chicken?
Yeah, absolutely. Underneath the skin of the
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah.
I do a
butter.
pesto with it
Yeah.
when it comes up like this, and
Oh,
you got
yeah.
a lot
That's
of
good too.
and
What a
then
great
smear
idea.
it,
Really nice,
and then
yeah.
you smear it on fish and just pop it under the broiler.
Chris,
It's
are
so
you
nice.
grilling ramps? We talked
I
about
am
this.
grilling
They're
ramps.
up.
We dug
They're up.
ramps already, and
Are you
dirt under
grilling
the
'em?
fingernails. Dirt under
I
the
haven't
I can see
fingernails.
that. I can see
Yeah.
that.
I have not had one ramp.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God!
upset.
They're
I just
so beautiful this year.
What,
So you-
really?
Oh my God! I don't know. It's just because
The weather
it's
was
the first. Well,
right?
I don't know. It's just. I think it's just in our heads because in winter you don't get a lot of green stuff, and
we're
this
just so
the
excited
green is
for it.
just so beautiful.
So you
and,
inspired Matt and I to go look for him, and I couldn't find any.
Oh my God! This is the
Tell
best.
me where to go.
Listen, this is the easiest time to find them because in a few more weeks there'll be other stuff up, and
Yeah.
then you have to really look for them. Now they're one of the only things up in the woods right now are these
I
and
wanna
the
go
skunk
find
cabbage.
some.
So they're very easy to spot now.
Rhubarb is up though. in
Rhubarb
people's
is
yards.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say something about rhubarb. I had a cocktail at Carol Peck's, and it was
Oh, yeah.
amazing,
The shrub.
made with a rhubarb shrub.
Yeah.
And we've had shrub on the show before. Unbelievable.
So,
Delicious.
Anthony,
Gin.
explain to us what shrub is.
Shrub is like an old colonial way of preserving fruits and vegetables before they go bad. So it was incorporated into cocktails throughout the winter by adding vinegar. So it's an equal part of some type of acidic fruit. So this tastes, we're saying it's an equal part of, let's say, 1 cup of rhubarb,
Yep.
1 cup of sugar, and you put that aside together, and you
Macerate.
just let it macerate. It turns into a syrup over
Oh,
time.
wow.
So every time you walk by the refrigerator, you give it a little bit of a shake
And
in a
it's
dark
in the
place.
refrigerator,
In the
you keep it.
refrigerator, a cool, dark place, like a mason jar too. You can do that, and then once you kind of get an idea when you go in there and you see that it's already turned into like a heavy syrup. You're not going to get more out of it. Then you add an equal part of vinegar to it, or vinegar
kind
to
of
taste.
vinegar?
Usually like an apple cider
Yeah,
vinegar.
For this area, apple cider.
Definitely apple cider vinegar.
And
But
then what do
do
you
that
do
to
with it?
taste.
Equal part. Oh, to
The
taste.
the original recipe was equal parts, but vinegar can get very, very strong and can throw off your whole shrub. So when you do add the vinegar, add it a little bit at a time. So if you're doing a cup, then have a cup of that apple vinegar there, but just slowly add it and stir it into taste.
And what do I want it to taste like? Do I
it's
want
going to be
it
sweet and
do I want it to
sour
be
and savory.
drinkable
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
by itself?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, you want
Like
like, a
teaspoon-wise. Oh
my God.
exactly. You
One
want
of-
like a tart taste by itself, and then you can add club soda to it
Faith,
if you
I
want
put
a
it in
virgin
soda
drink.
water.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, you
Little
can have club
splash.
soda.
So good in soda water.
Wow.
Just a little splash into my soda water, and it's
Yep.
heaven.
Would you pour it over like a sorbet or
Sure.
ice cream or something, or is the
Yep.
vinegar too
My
strong?
friend Lou, who makes this in Western Mass, he not only puts it on ice creams and stuff, he makes salad dressings with it.
Oh yeah.
And it's amazing.
yeah.
Sometimes you go a
Marinades
little
for
heavier
chicken.
on the vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, marinades for chicken he
Or
does
pork.
for it, or
Yep.
pork.
But
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna
as,
try
as
that
for
then.
like doing like for ice cream, what I do is I leave the vinegar part out. And then I will take like fresh strawberries or fresh pineapples, whatever's got the most acid to it, or rhubarb, and I won't add that at all. I'll just strain the solids out, and I'll have a fresh strawberry syrup, or a fresh pineapple syrup, or a fresh rhubarb syrup, and you can.
So how
cook
long will
with
this
it,
stuff
drizzle it.
last though? Now you have a.
What I do to make it last, you just want to put like an ounce of some type of a base spirit, like basically vodka, because it's flavorless. So put a little ounce of vodka in that, and then keep it in your refrigerator, and it'll last about 3 months.
Okay. And if you do it with vinegar, then it lasts for
Exactly,
it lasts forever.
which was the whole point, was
Yeah.
to get your fruit and your
Right,
preservatives.
and,
to
and
last.
for
because it has
people who
high
don't drink
acidity and-
alcohol, this
Yeah.
is a great thing. Okay, so you can go alcohol or alcohol free. Here's the thing: we have about a minute left in the segment, so I want to tell you what is coming up. I'm going to tell you about the food and wine trip that I am leading to Italy, the Piemonte region. It is going to be spectacular. So we'll tell you about that, and we have a bunch of grilling tips, and these are things that when we were doing our cruise, we do the food and booze cruise here, where we go through every kind of radio, television, every kind of publication, every online site, bloggers, everything, and we start gathering the best of the brightest out there.
Distilling it.
And these grilling tips are really terrific because they explain why things happen that are great for grilling. And so you'll understand how this works, and you can have the best meats that are grilling. You can understand why to pick a particular grill. We're going to tell you all about that as we go into our next segment. And of course, we have one of the best burgers I have ever tasted.
That was
And
so
it's
good.
from our guest who has this cookbook, Minimalist Baker's Everyday Cooking. And this was a Thai peanut burger that is absolutely sensational. We have a fantastic wine coming your way. More mouth-watering conversation and fun ahead on the Faith Middleton Food Schmooze. I hope you will make a charitable contribution to Feed the Hungry. We're online now at foodschmooze.org. We'll be right back.
Cheese.
It's raining tacos. Raining tacos. Raining tacos. It's raining tacos.
Okay, hope that first bite of the food schmooze felt like a hot biscuit with butter coming your way. Feel free to tell your food-loving friends worldwide they can enjoy the show and our online site at foodschmooze.org. Here's your second bite.
Beans and cornbread. Beans and cornbread. Beans and cornbread. Beans and cornbread had a fight. Beans knocked cornbread out of sight. Cornbread said, now that's all right. Meet me on the corner tomorrow night. I'll be ready. I'll be ready tomorrow night. I'll be ready. I'll be ready tomorrow night. I'll be ready. I'll be ready tomorrow night. That's what Beans said to cornbread.
Listen, that is one of the great recordings right there. And I want to tell you this about it. I have events for this food schmooze, and these gorgeous people are standing in front of me, these couples, and they'll say to me, do you know I was raised on that song listening to your food schmooze? And now they're grown up, and they would say, I would think my mother was making us listen to this show, and then I just loved it when that song came on. So we leave this song on as long as we can every time we do the show, so that kids now can listen, and we're glad you do. So if you're listening right now to that song and you're liking it, or you've memorized it in some way,
Great song.
and
It is a
maybe
great
on
song.
some future shows we'll play it even longer, and you can hear the kind of the wildness that group gets into when they sing. Okay, so here's what happens. I go to events. I recently did the Girl Scouts of Connecticut event. And people will say, oh, so-and-so told me it was on that show, but I missed it. And I look at them and I say, "But what about the podcast?" And they just kind of stare at me. So I want to let you know about this. I think when I just say the sentence that everybody understands what I'm talking about, we have a free podcast for you.
Yep.
That means that we send our show to you. It's like this hot biscuit coming your way. We send it to you and it just pops up. And so you can listen to this show anytime you want. You don't have to be in a certain place at a certain time. And it is how more and more people
It's like your
listen
own
to
personal
things.
DVR. It just comes to you.
Exactly, Mark. So you don't have to miss a drop of pleasure on this show. You get to find out about all the things in our region that we're talking about. All you do is go to our site to sign up for it. You just do that once, and then it comes to you. So we send it automatically. And when you're on the site, you'll notice that we have got my curated food, wine, and cocktail recommendations and the recommendations of my group of incredible, very talented buddies here. And I'm with my treasured food buddies, Chris Prosperi, chef and co-owner of Metro Beast Restaurant in Simsbury, Connecticut, wine broker Alex Provence, Mark Raymond of Frederick Wildman and Sons Wine Distributors, Anthony DeSario, our chief cocktail contributor, and our most beloved senior producer, Robin Doyen Aiken. We adore this
Love
person.
her.
It's like-
Best.
Okay, so here we are, and we have a wine to talk about. We've got a Mother's Day cocktail for you. This wine, Mark, is terrific, and it's called Kuma,
It's called Kuma, yeah.
Cuma,
Thank you.
and it's organic, made with organic grapes. I'm
It
excited
is.
about this.
It is.
And it's from Argentina.
It is, but it's not from your typical area of Argentina. So Mendoza is where probably 75% of the wine comes from.
I'm
in
opening this. Go ahead. Yeah.
And this region, this is called Salta. So only about 3% of the wine comes from this region. It's about 3 hours north of Mendoza. So as you go farther north in Argentina, you get into a much warmer growing climate. But they have to go into high elevations so they get cool nights. So they're in the foothills of the Andes. They start growing at about 5,000 feet above sea level.
Beautiful label, huh?
Oh,
yeah.
really
Yeah.
beautiful.
What is
in a
this?
really
Such
a
beautiful
pretty
area.
bottle.
This is a clean, crisp,
Citrusy. Yeah.
citrusy.
Perfumey.
Yeah, I love the
Dry.
nose on it. You get almost like white flowers, like gardenias,
Yeah.
and it almost smells like it's going to be sweet. But you get this on the palate,
Acidity is
and the
beautiful.
crispness comes through, and you get that sort of lemon zest, but yet,
Lemon zest.
Yes.
yeah, definitely some lemon
It
zest.
gets my Flowers. yummy award.
What's
Yeah,
that?
it's
Yummy
my
award?
yummy award.
Mark,
It is
and this
yummy.
retails for about.
Oh, this is
$14.
$14. This is
yeah.
such a great value.
So this is one of those whites that goes with just about anything,
Oh,
or if you're
fish,
having a
chicken,
party, or
absolutely.
and you buy by the case. Of course, it's going to be cheaper. It's that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So
Easy drinker.
yes, I would say ease. That's a great way to put it. And of course, this and all the things we've been talking about are on our website at foodschmooze.org, plus information about tickets to the Food Schmooze Martini competition.
Absolutely.
So Kuma, C-U-M-A, and made with organic grapes. This is the 2015 Torrentes.
Which is the current release. It's as fresh as it gets. It is so delicious, so light.
So this tastes like it's been in stainless steel,
It's
right?
all
So
done in stainless
clean,
steel.
clean,
yeah.
clean.
It's all about the freshness.
Some-
It's one of
if-
the best
here's
ones I've
what
ever had.
This is like if you put if you threw some lemons into a mountain stream.
Wow. I like that. What a great can I use that?
Can you? Yes. And
Can I use that one?
So I get some kind of
Absolutely. You,
you know,
do.
like
You get two more
wine
bottles.
for life.
Two more bottles.
Wine for
It's
life.
It's a
That's
great
the
bottle.
public
when you-
radio rate.
That's
Two
it.
more bottles for that.
It's a great bottle that I like to segue with if someone comes up to my bar and they're like, I don't know if I want Pinot Grigio or Sauvignon Blanc, and I'm like, give this a try.
Yeah,
And they're
absolutely.
like, oh, it's a little too floral. I'm like, get past the nose,
Okay.
and then you're going to get into that nice, crisp, beautiful white, and it's
Crispy,
like, what is
crispy.
this? And they're
Yeah.
sold.
All right, so now I want to turn our attention to Mother's Day. We've been talking about Mother's Day and Father's Day on the show previously, but we have a special cocktail for you and the recipe for that. By the way, that wine we just spoke about, the Kuma, it's on our website with a shot of the label because we want you to be able to call ahead if you want to, spell the name for the wine store. Wine stores are not gigantic mostly, and so they can't have everything on the shelf. We don't want you to make a wasted trip, but they will get things for you within 24 hours. So call ahead and say, here's what I want. You could stop by and see if they have it. But constantly we're hearing from our wine store people that I think it's better if you do a quick call ahead before you make the trip down there. So Anthony DeSerio, and it's on our fuchmus.org is where we've got the label shot that you can use and keep it on your phone. You could take it to the wine store if you want. Anthony DeSerio, our chief cocktail contributor, you have a great Mother's Day cocktail.
Yeah, I wanted to do something a little different, but the same. Usually when you think Mother's Day, or you think of all these like great, the summer brunches are coming up, the bridal showers and things like that as well. Engagement parties, Jack and Jill's. This is a little something for everybody. I'm going on a limb here saying I think I'm a little tired of the mimosa, the champagne, and the orange juice. So I like to jazz things up a little and put a twist.
I love this idea. This
so
is
with
a
the
great
flavors in like bottles of cava or prosecco, things that are affordable that you can use, I took a cava and the St. George spice pear liqueur.
Let's stop for a second. The cava, for people who don't know, is a sparkling wine, and it usually is from Spain. It's just that they call their sparkling wine cava.
Yeah, exactly.
It's affordable. You're not spending, $35 for a beautiful bottle of champagne, which there's nothing wrong with that. So this way you can either play with those flavor profiles that come from the cava or from a nice inexpensive prosecco.
Yes, prosecco would be another way to go. A sparkling wine that's not expensive.
Correct.
So
because we want to feed the
10,
masses. You can make a big
$8,
punch
$9,
out of this
a
if
bottle
you want
we're
to.
talking about. So just go to your wine
so we
store.
did 3/4 of an ounce of the St. George spice pear liqueur, which is again all natural. We tried their raspberry before, and you like that.
Wonderful, yeah.
And so we used the spice pear, and the pear goes with
Delicious.
the pear that's in the white wine. And then I added a little splash of an elderflower liqueur.
Awesome.
There's
Love that
many
elderflower.
brands out there. Elderflower, that taste is prominent. You don't need the $38 bottle. You can go with the $19 bottle because we were mixing it. So just add a little floral note to this.
Now, let me just say that you might say $19 is a lot of money, and what am I going to do with a bottle of elderflower?
It goes in everything. It's bartender ketchup.
It is also incredible in iced tea.
Oh, yeah.
Iced
And
tea,
it goes in just
margaritas,
about every kind of cocktail you can
daiquiris.
imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
use it
I love a little
faster than
touch
you
in my
think.
gin and tonic.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
I never thought of that.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another thing that we like to encourage people to do, which is if you've got a friend who loves cocktails, chip in with a friend or
Yeah.
two. And so you're not spending your $18, you're each spending $6
Yeah.
for something. And then you just either divide up the
Neighbors.
bottle
There you
or,
go, yeah.
party
come over,
together
little
on
block
the
party.
Flower.
And it never goes bad, so you
No,
can hold on
no,
to it for
absolutely.
years. and years.
yeah.
So 3/4 of an ounce of the spice pear liqueur. We did 1/4 ounce of elderflower, and we put our bar spoon in the champagne glass, and we just poured the cava right down the center, and you're good to go.
So what we have promised you that we were going to talk about what it's like to use one of these mail order services where they send you the ingredients
So
for your
interested.
meal.
That's really cool.
And Alex Province and his husband Matt tried one of these services and have had a really great time. And we want to tell you about what that experience is like. So that is coming up. Remember, I was saying we like to give credit where credit is due for people who have given us information that we think is so valuable. In this case, Cooks Illustrated. Hats off to
Yeah.
you, because here are some things that they said. If you're thinking about getting a different grill or a new grill, a grill for the first time, and you're thinking, well, I better get a grill with a lot of BTUs. That's not actually, says Cooks Illustrated, what does it. I thought that really did factor in a lot. And Chris is shaking his head no. So, Chris, you know this too. They're saying they actually picked a great grill as their number one grill, but we'll get to that in a minute. They said, you want a grill that has a tight-fitting lid because it traps the heat and the smoke.
Okay.
And in fact, the grill they like has a low BTU. What you want is grills that have minimal vents on the sides, because if you've got big holes in there, too much of the heat is going to go out. But there are certain grills where you see just a tiny little narrow slit because they have to let it
Some
will
air.
explode
Yeah.
if they don't let some air out. You want the cook box of the grill to be really thick. And the worst ones are made with thin stainless steel. Don't get those because it lets the heat escape. Okay. But if it's got a thick box, like thick cast aluminum and steel, then you're going to have real heat concentration. So I thought those were great tips. Are you
like
ready
a
for this?
10.
Yeah, I'm wondering what
they
their top
tested
grill
a
was.
lot of grills.
I think it's
Because
the
we all
green
know
egg.
the name.
It's not. It's the Weber Spirit E
Okay, which one's
310. It's the one that looks the most old-fashioned of
Like that
all the
kettle?
Webers. Not the round kettle.
Yeah, no,
it's
these are the gas
square,
grills. Yeah.
and it is just this
They're
old
workhorse.
school
Yeah.
thing. You know, it's like the one you walk by to get to the snazzier looking one. But really,
And I like them too because you can rebuild them. You can get
Yeah.
get all
You
the
can
parts.
get parts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Exactly.
the box never goes bad.
Right.
You know, the grates will rust out
Sure.
or burn up, and the burners will die out. And you can buy kits to rebuild your Weber
You
grill.
And there's
can?
nothing
Oh
to
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
you
It's
can
not-
get it at Home Depot. It's
and they're
real
not
simple.
complicated.
No,
at all.
very
Okay.
simple to put in and out.
So-
Yeah, hats off to Weber.
there was another tip. They were doing different things on grilling, and I thought this was really just terrific. I learned a lot from this. You know how we all think if you got something on the grill that has fat in it and it's sizzling, we think that's a bad thing. It's going to catch on fire.
Oh, I like that.
And
That's
it
the
does
best
catch on.
part.
Well, they said what's happening is that when fat sizzles, flavor is building.
Caramelization.
Yeah, so we think that flavor comes from those burning coals
Yeah.
in a charcoal grill, don't we? I mean,
Oh,
I certainly
absolutely.
do. So they're saying that's really not the case. There are these compounds that rise up from this burning charcoal, and it does give some flavor, of course. But the most significant thing is the flavor that you get when the fat drips and hits the coals.
And that comes
When
back.
that fat, yes,
wow.
Chris, when
Yeah.
that fat drips down and sizzles and pops on the coals, it releases these complex compounds and they waft up, as Chris says, and they get deposited back on the food. And that's really what's doing it, the fat dripping, not the smoke and the stuff from the coals themselves. So you've got the browning from the flame, of course, and that char on the exterior. That's a characteristic grill flavor, but it's these fat release of compounds.
Little flavor angels.
And they taste, and it does. It'll taste a little difference whether you're on charcoal or hardwood charcoal. The
Right.
fat,
Right.
it changes the flavor as it bounces.
So
back. Yeah.
here's
Yeah.
a thought. I'm thinking to myself, many people are buying hamburger meat that is the lowest fat
Too
that they
lean.
can get.
Too lean.
Way
Too
too
Well,
lean.
no.
Yeah.
But they have to for health reasons, so that's fine. What I'm thinking is there a way to drip some fat on your charcoal?
We'll put some bacon fat. Pour some
No,
bacon
like-
fat.
like
yeah, but
bacon
you
fat.
know what?
Put it in a mister.
And that would
You don't
release-
have to because when you think about it, when you do an 80-20 or sometimes I'll even do a 70-30
There go the eyebrows.
fat, right? If you do that, that fat releases out, so you're not stuck with it eating it. A lot of it melts out.
Right.
Especially if you're
Yeah.
like me. I eat my
Right.
hamburgers more on the mid-rare side.
Yeah.
So the longer you cook it, the less fat stays in it,
Yeah.
right? It
Right.
melts
Right.
out.
It all melts out.
It all
Renders
melts out.
out,
So
yeah.
you don't have to add more fat. Just go with the 80-20. Cook
Well, you
it
know
a
what I
little
do.
bit
Yeah, let it come
longer.
out.
You know what I do? Is I put a shaving of butter
On top of it.
when the
yeah.
burger
And
is
that's
done.
fat. See,
A
that's
shaving of butter on the top of it. I mean, really just the thinnest little piece of butter on it, and I just swirl it around, and that gives it the flavor to the meat that's low fat.
I use, you know what?
I do it on steak,
I'm
too.
probably one of the only restaurants, and I'll admit it, I use 70-30.
No, well, I
70-30.
mean, yeah.
Chris, how often should you clean your grill? Could some of those fat drippings that stay, could those add some flavor too? Kind
We
of
don't
like,
clean
kind of
our
like
grill.
grandma's sauce pot.
We don't clean ours. It gets like
Yeah,
it
the
gets
gas
better
grill.
and better.
Well,
Yeah,
it burns
you clean,
off.
you clean the grates, but
Sometimes.
it burns
Well,
up and stuff. You want to get
otherwise
that,
you'll have fish in your burger.
Yeah, there you go.
and you get the crunchy carbon.
It's easy.
on it.
Don't
It's
eat
not good.
fish.
Don't eat fish. No,
But it's
yeah, you want
it's-
to keep your grill grates clean.
All
It's
right.
so clearly different though, because I cook on the wood-fired grill all the time, and I've got to hurry up and cook on the gas grill. Completely different flavor.
Okay, we love the local. I want to say that. Please support your local food growers and food makers. And for on-demand podcast delivery of the Food Schmooze Party every week, and to find our food, wine, cocktail, restaurant, hot topic, and short, fun streaming video recommendations, recipes we feature, we are always online talking with you at foodschmooze.org. Our experience with one of these mail order meal delivery things, we're going to tell you about it right after this and talk about the Thai peanut butter. Stay with us.
And we're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. Gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We're gonna let it
We have one more mouthwatering bite of the Fooch Moose coming up. Here's something great to know about. Sign up for the app called NPR One. Just download it from the iPhone App Store or your Android device. And once you do, you can set WNPR as your local station. Couldn't be easier. Download the free app NPR One and start listening. Let's party on. More Fooch Moose. I'm excited about this announcement. I've decided to lead a food and wine lovers trip to Italy the week of September 19th. And if you'd like to get on our information list to get a taste of the remarkable experiences we're going to have, I'm about to give you an email contact. The Piemonte region of Italy is spectacular to see. It's a part of Italy where they're still making the real thing when it comes to food and wine. Italians themselves travel there from other regions in the country to eat and explore the villages, architecture, museums, the vistas, the coastline, as we will. We've teamed up with a family from the Piemonte region, Connecticut business owners who created the Carla's Pasta line. And because they know Piemonte so intimately, and I love it too, I have asked them to curate this trip with me. Wineries are going to host us. Our hotel will have a spa. There will be music and meals, including truffles and handcrafted pastas to swoon over, plus unforgettable scenery. All I can tell you is that our trips are the most fun, and the chefs and wineries know we're going to be reporting afterward on our experiences with them, so they knock themselves out for us. If you'd like to come with me and the Squattrito family, and now WNPR CPTV President and CEO Jerry Franklin, for a week-long food and wine tour through the Piemonte region of Italy starting this September 19th, please add your name to our information update list at this address: jmoore@cpbn.org. We'll tell you all about what we're planning as it unfolds. And if you forget that address, you can always find it posted on our site at foodschmooze.org. I hope you'll come with me. This is the Fooch Moose Party, offering you the richness of life, coming to you in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New York, including Westchester County, the East End of Long Island, and of course the Hamptons. To hear the show on WNPR, it airs Thursdays at 3 and Saturdays at noon. Podcasts and our curated recommendations are always online at foodschmooze.org, including martini tickets. And that is June 23rd. You can, of course, talk with us on Facebook. Listen, if you've had experience, we're going to be talking next about one of these mail order services where they send you the ingredients for a meal. If you've had experience with one of these and have enjoyed it, we're not interested in knocking people. We just don't mention them. But if you've had success with one, you really liked it after you've tested it out, would you tell us on Facebook? We'd like to hear about this. And we're at Faith Middleton Fooch Moose on Facebook. We're going to go right to Alex Province because, Alex, you signed up for one of these services.
We sure did. Matt and I love to cook dinner. We love to go through cookbooks and come up with fun stuff. But during the work week, we are so tired. So we both come home. We try to figure out where we're going to cook for dinner. Matt came across Blue Apron. There's another one called Plated. And we ended up using HelloFresh because they deliver on Monday. So I come home from work. Monday, there's a box on my stoop. You bring it inside. There's 3 dinners that come. You know, you could do 5 if you wanted. You open up the box. All the meats, and they're like really high-quality meats, are on the bottom on ice. And then all the dinners are beautifully boxed. They're well labeled.
You mean the ingredients?
The ingredients. It comes with like a really cool little pamphlet that has all the recipes. We like to cook sophisticated, fun dinners. You know, these aren't like macaroni and cheese. And you go through, and I love macaroni and cheese, but you know,
Yeah, what are some of the examples?
This week I made paella, shrimp and chorizo paella, and I make pretty good paella, so I'm pretty picky.
The best.
So I made paella Monday night. It comes with chorizo, so you open up the little box.
All
And
chopped
what
and
what
ready
they
to go.
give you? What was in the box?
So it comes with a recipe. So it comes with shrimp that are beautifully packaged. It comes with the rice. It comes with actual Spanish dry chorizo, just the exact amount, not more than you
All
need.
chopped up, ready to go?
Nope. You have
Okay.
to
do
chop
some
stuff
work.
up.
Okay.
Parsley, Roman tomato, the garlic. If it calls for 1 clove of garlic, all you get is 1. All the ingredients are there. You sort of do your mise en place.
basically
You
measured out
wash
for you.
everything. It's almost like if you took a chemistry lab in college or something,
so
where you just go
somebody
through.
shopped for you, and
Someone
according
shopped,
to a recipe,
menu planned, does a menu that works, and then I get the nutritional benefit on it as well. So I know I had like 600 calories eating my paella.
It's awesome.
Oh.
It's $10 per person, which is actually pretty affordable because you're not throwing food away.
What other dinners
So-
came in that box?
So
What'd you get?
tonight's pan-seared steak. Last night we had like a Thai pork lob burger.
And
So
then
that's
does it come
ethnic?
with vegetables?
So
With it?
everything includes everything. The
It's
only
all
thing you
measured
have
Well,
out
like, what
for
did
you.
you have with it? What are you going to
So
have
it's
with it?
it's a complete
The
meal.
steak.
So Matt made the pickles. So it actually comes with the vegetables to make a quick like 20-minute pickle.
Oh, wow.
Natural pickles.
So yeah, what's the
Comes
time
with the
invested?
bread.
Do you do about
So
30
it's-
minutes?
Yeah, so this was 35 minutes. It's nut free. They level it. This was level 2, I guess. The paella, they said, was level 3. And this paella was actually very, very good. It was almost as good as what I would make.
So you like the quality of what they're sending you?
All
The
You like
locally
ingredients are all
sourced
real good.
produce, all organic where they can. It's
You
all
like the taste?
taste is great. Recipes are complex
What about
enough.
the pricing?
Yeah, it works out
Cheaper
to
than
be
eating
about
in a
$10
restaurant.
per person. So for all week, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. It's $60.
Is it just an entree?
It's a complete meal.
Entree,
So
dessert?
The
Is
little
there
side-
dessert?
No dessert.
No,
Okay,
but salad
that's
and
good.
entree kind of.
No, you don't need dessert.
We don't want that.
need dessert.
We're trying to stay away from that. I
Alex,
don't want-
Alex, do you pick and choose ahead of time?
Yeah,
Like,
good
what
question. So the week before we go through and we choose what dinners we want delivered the following week. And it's beautifully packaged. We recycle all the stuff that we can. We've been really satisfied. It allows us to just come home and actually cook and not worry about the meal planning. And it's actually pushed us to do stuff that we normally wouldn't do. Like Jamie Oliver had his asparagus risotto. Like I would never do a risotto on a Tuesday night. But when they tell you it's only 35 minutes, all the
You don't
ingredients
have
are
to
shot
cut
for.
or,
Well, it's fun. We love
so
it.
they cut up the ingredients for
No,
you,
they
or
don't.
no?
They don't cut it. They portion
They
it
portion
out.
it. That's what I meant. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Some
they
assembly
portion
So,
it.
and here's the other thing. If you think it's sort of wasteful, we end up overcooking because it's 2 of us. So I suffer from that abundanza. So I just want to buy too much. This is
Sure.
exactly food for 2 people. You finish exactly what you make, and there's no leftovers, nothing to
You
go
know how many
bad.
calories you
I know
made.
how many calories. They're
You know your
well-rounded.
nutritional information.
I love it.
Cool.
I
Will you
love it.
keep going with it? do you
Yeah,
think?
I'd be curious to try. There's blue plated and there's another one, or
Blue
blue
Apron.
apron, sorry, and plated. We went with HelloFresh because it arrives on Monday, and for us, we wanted a Monday night dinner.
Does it include the spices as well?
All the spices. So my
Future
paella
of
came
shopping.
with a little thing of saffron. It comes with its demi-glaze. So the
Oh,
only thing you
nice.
need is salt, pepper, and olive oil.
Wow. Great.
That's a good report.
2
All right.
thumbs up from Alex.
We,
Love it, yeah. And I've got the stomach to prove it.
all right, here we go. Thank you for that, Alex. The minimalist baker, Dana Schultz, has a mission, I would say, and that is to create plant-based foods so good that nobody thinks to ask, where's the meat? And she's been experimenting with dairy-free and egg-free cooking for years, and now gluten-free, vegan dishes are her focus. Her book is chock full of winners, including a superpowered chocolate shake and double chocolate gluten-free waffles for breakfast, extra boozy berry mimosas for brunch, garlic scallop potatoes, and garlic pineapple stir-fried quinoa for any old time. We're not done. We like her trashy vegan sandwich and hearty cocoa black bean burgers. We think this burger we're about to talk about will slay anybody. It is one of the best burgers I have ever tasted.
So
And
delicious.
I'm not alone in this. We
No.
all just went crazy. Chris made this for us. The book is called Minimalist Bakers Everyday Cooking. And we have Dana Schultz with us here on the Fluchmas Party. Welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for the kind introduction. I'm so glad you like the burgers.
I did, and these are gluten-free. This is your Thai peanut burger, and we're Skyping you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, Chris, how easy to come together.
I thought it was going to be difficult, but it was so easy.
Let me just say what's in here. We have a can of chickpeas that you rinse, of course, and some cooked quinoa, green onion, salted peanut butter, and some lightly salted peanuts themselves that you're going to crunch up, some tamari or soy sauce, and chili garlic sauce, a little brown sugar, sea salt, and if you want to do for serving, Chris put some pickles on this, which was just absolutely fabulous.
Green
So
onion,
tell me how it came together,
All right,
Chris.
so it's really easy. You take a can of chickpeas, drain them, rinse them, and then you put them in a bowl, mash them with a fork a little bit. You want to leave
You
some
want it
for
chunky,
texture. Yeah,
chunky.
chunky. And then you add the rest of the stuff in there. Cooked quinoa, peanut butter.
You used
roasted
crunchy peanut butter.
I
I
use
love
crunchy
that.
peanut butter, but there's peanuts in here, so whatever you have is good. And then a little tamari or soy sauce, chili garlic sauce for a zip, and then some brown sugar. And you mix it all together. If it's a little loose, you add a little more peanuts to tighten it up, and then you form it on plastic wrap into little patties.
That's it. And then
That's
you can
it.
grill them or pan fry them or broil
no,
them.
in the oven. They go on a baking sheet.
Oh, you did these in the oven?
Yeah, baked in the oven. You cook them on basically on one side, then you flip them, get them crispy on the other side, and then transfer them right onto your roll.
Now look,
and
if,
then,
if you're
some
not
veggies.
dairy free, could you use either egg white or egg yolk in here to hold them together
Yeah,
a
sure
little
you could,
bit more?
but you don't even have to if you don't want to. They're perfect.
And so they're baking in there for about 20 minutes. And we have this recipe
Oh my God.
on our site.
They are
And
so good.
honestly,
I loved them.
I want to just say to
Absolutely.
you, Dana, if someone didn't, I would not even say a word except to let my guests know that there are peanuts because you have to now.
Right.
Right.
In my burgers, I would just say, "Come over, we're having burgers." I wouldn't say a word about any kind of vegan, nothing.
peanut burgers, boom.
We're having Thai peanut burgers. And not one of us here in this room would say
right?
I
Totally
would
satisfied.
I wouldn't miss meat. I wouldn't. That's how incredibly flavorful these are.
Yeah,
Incredible.
it's a winner recipe. I go through 100 recipes. Maybe I'll find one good one. This one is above some of the best recipes because it's simple. It uses some pre-made stuff, and the flavor and the texture.
And can I say this, Dana, that when we had a competition here on the show among ourselves to do the best vegetarian burger, they were terrific. And by just a small margin, I think my burger won. Yeah. And my burger in a million years couldn't hold a candle to what you have done.
In
feels
cooking
like
ease too,
trash
right? In
compared to
cooking
the-
ease too. She just opened a can of beans and cooked some quinoa, and boom, she got the best
It's
burger
unbelievable.
I'd give up meat for that burger.
I just don't even know what to tell you. A lot of chocolate things in here. I was very excited about that. This super powered chocolate shake you have at the beginning of the book, where you've got almond milk and cacao powder, unsweetened, of course, a little bit of almond butter in there, which I thought was a good idea, and some chia seeds and flax, and a banana that you slice up and usually is frozen, and a few ice cubes. Boom, into the blender. You could add dates if you wanted to, but into the blender. That's a nice chocolatey shake, and takes you about 10 minutes to put together. And it's gluten-free.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a great one for just a snack or like after you work out. It's a great little recovery snack.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that. These garlic scalloped potatoes are the kind of thing that I could eat year round. I know in the summer we start to feel like it's getting too hot, but for people who cannot have pasta or like the protein value in quinoa, the new it's like the new kale is what I call it. I like this recipe for garlic pineapple stir-fried quinoa because this will take you through the summer when pasta starts to feel too heavy.
Yeah.
So tell me about this one.
Me or the chef?
You tell me about the garlic.
They're doing a great job. I wish they would narrate all my recipes.
Okay, so you've got quinoa that you make, and you've got sesame oil and green onion and garlic and peas that are fresh or frozen, some salted roasted cashews, diced pineapple.
So delish.
And you make a little sauce of sesame oil and soy or tamari, a little touch of maple syrup, Chris, and some garlic cloves and peanut butter. And all this comes together. You've got these cashews and green onions, scallions, scattered throughout this quinoa salad with all these great ingredients
And
of
all pineapple
pineapple.
so well balanced,
Wonderful.
Sweet and acidity and
Yeah.
I need to start eating more like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it takes you 20 minutes to make this. And I think adults and kids. I think kids would really
kids would
like
absolutely
this.
love that.
If they can have nuts, of course. So great job on that.
Thank you. Yeah, if you can't have peanuts, cashew butter would be a great substitute in there.
Oh.
To make it more special diet friendly, yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a nut allergy, you could probably use tahini. Yeah, you could probably use tahini, right, as a substitute.
Yeah, I would agree.
We love things on the show that are no-bake. You have these no-bake strawberry cheesecake bars. And we have this recipe on our site. We thought this was so terrific. You make a crust with dates that are pitted, and you kind of pack them up. And then these...
Yeah, it makes like a sticky kind of a raw dough that's sweet, and then you can add as much sea salt as you want to kind of balance out the flavors.
But you're mixing the dates with raw walnuts, right?
Yes.
And sea salt. And when you start packing that, it comes into a crust. You can see.
Oh, I totally get that. That's amazing.
The filling for these no-bake strawberry cheesecake bars, raw cashews that you soak and you drain, and because that's going to soften them up, right, Dana?
Yeah, that makes them blendable and creamy and smooth.
And then you use either full fat or light coconut milk. You could do unsweetened almond milk if you want. Some vanilla extract, a little bit of maple syrup, and some olive oil, just a little bit of olive oil, and some lemon zest and juice. Wow. Does this go into the blender?
Yeah, you can try and use a food processor, but to get it really creamy and smooth, I recommend using a nice, decent quality high-speed blender.
Okay, and then the strawberry topping, you have frozen strawberries or fresh strawberries that you chop up, a little bit more maple syrup, or you could use coconut sugar, whatever you want to use, some cornstarch or arrowroot starch, which is going to make a little bit of a thick sauce there, and some water, or you could put freshly squeezed orange juice. Now, some people will slice those strawberries or chunk them up. The more surface, the more juice you're going to get, which is a beautiful thing. And you have these bars. You could put some kind of cream on top of them or whatever you want.
Heaven.
Wow. That's so good.
I'm hungry again.
This is so we have information about this cookbook at our website, and we have the Thai peanut burger, and we have the no-bake strawberry cheesecake bars, and the garlic scalloped potatoes, because who can resist them? All of it at foodschmooze.org, and we'll tell you exactly what to do, how to get the book. Dana Schultz is our guest. Her cookbook is called Minimalist Bakers Everyday Cooking. 101 entirely plant-based, mostly gluten-free, easy, and delicious recipes. Boy, after that Thai burger, I would say that that's true.
And a refreshing point of view as far as recipes, I think.
Changes your whole paradigm of cooking.
I mean, every once in a while, a book like this comes along where it really changes your point of view on things, and this is one of them. Eat that Thai peanut burger, and you'll see.
We want to start eating like that at home.
Yeah,
I think
Dana,
a lot of people do.
You could turn a lot of people with that Thai peanut burger, I think. You really could.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you, all my food buddies. I adore you. We're on WNPR Thursdays at 3 and Saturdays at noon. Weekdays, listen for my 60-second food schmoozes. Join the conversation with us. We're always up for a good time online at foodschmooze.org. In New Haven, I'm Faith Middleton.
Everybody eats when they come to mind.
This is the place to enjoy the richness of life. Sharing our local and national discoveries with you makes me want to get up in the morning. The gang and I hope you'll come back soon and often.